Alright, so today in this video we're going to be removing the rear bumper on my 2011 Chevy Colorado. And we're going to be adding the new part that came in from Rock Auto, which is right in this box right here. So I ended up going with the chrome option. So before the shipping costs and everything, it was almost $300, and then after the shipping cost is like $330 or something of that sorts. But yeah, basically it's this whole metal piece. Comes with the plastics as well, like this right here. Comes with these as well. Pretty much everything. So the whole bumper. Alright, so here we got the part. The chrome right there, looking pretty good. The black plastic or gray plastic, and you got the punch outs there for the license plate lights. So those are over here, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. And then did notice that there's two of those brackets, and another bag right here. And that's pretty much it in terms of accessories. We got the punch outs for the license plate as well, which is good, and the cutout for the ball for our trailer hitch. So you can tell one is dangling right there, and then all that's holding that piece is a nut that was like that right there, and then now you can pop them out. So these guys right here. Alright, so I ended up bringing down the spare tire. I don't know what happened to my little cone thing, but it is dangling and stuff, so I had to just stick it right in there. I'll reposition that when I can. So the reason I did this is so I can get access to these plastic clips right here. I'm basically just beating them with a rubber mallet. So these two right here next, I just couldn't get to them because of the spare tire. So okay, so it should just be 3 that are holding them, and they're all loose. Alright, so I was able to pull that right off. I can notice that there's still some of those plastic clips that are stuck in there. I'll just get some pliers and take them out, and now I can start working on this. Okay, so in that bag there were the step pads, which look like that underneath, so I'm assuming the original OE should also look like that. So that's what this is about. So that means if I remove those step pads, I should see some screws, so let's figure this out. Yeah, so I just used that body trim tool, and as soon as I heard one of them pop, I just stuck my finger underneath and removed those 2 step pads. It was pretty easy. And now we're met with, so these 2 right here, and then a bolt right here. So I'm gonna figure out. And then also as well, I ended up removing this connector right here. Remove this connector back here since the whole bumper is going to be removed, so I don't want any electronics. You don't want any electronics attached to this, and I guess that goes the same for this cable here and all that. Alright, so that whole piece came out, and I'm leaving it in that specific orientation so I don't get confused. I found out where these brackets are going to go, so it looks like these are exactly the same as the ones that are right here. So you hold it up to it, pretty much the same, so that's a problem solved on that. I know where that's going. I'm pretty sure I know where these go. So these are, it's probably the left one. So I think it ends up being like this piece that slides in like so, and if that's the case, then this also needs to be pried up and out of the way. I could just leave the old ones as is, but I might as well just put in everything new since I have it here. Alright, so I had to run down to Tractor Supply to get some bits because ones in my toolbox didn't fit. This is the cover if you wanted to see the ones that I purchased. But these are the actual bits, and I left that one protruded on purpose because this is the right one. So there you go, got a good fit now. I did have to zip tie my license plate because I didn't have anywhere to screw it, so just in the meantime while I ran to the parts store. And this also came with the adapter, so since it's freakishly large, so that is really nice actually to have, so now I can just use the drill and get this going. Alright, for this last one I just used a ratchet because I did not want to mess up my emblem and all that I ordered from eBay a while back, so this just came out pretty easily. And I think the only thing that's detaining this might be the brackets. I'm thinking if I should have started with these first, but oh well. Alright, so I only did the top bolt and it's already pretty loose. And I believe that bottom bolt is right down there. So what I'm actually do is I'm gonna have to remove these two, and I'm gonna have to use the ratchet. So let's do that. And this whole piece should just come out after that, because you can tell that's what's detaining it. All right, so here we got the bumper all beat up and stuff, and dropped some paint on it some years ago, so that's why it's got some milky substance on it. But this is what we're left with right here. Now I need to figure out how to take out this right here. So probably just those bottom two bolts and then the side two bolts, and then we should be able to take those out, and those should be exactly the same as those pieces. So yeah, so let's go ahead and do this. Yeah, so you can see the two bolts that I took out on each side that were kind of hidden where I was forced to use the ratchet, and those were the other two on the very top under the step pad. And so if I take out these two bolts here and then the two bolts on the other side, this entire bracket should just come out, and we'll just be left with these pieces. And then I'm gonna leave that on there just like that, because there's no need to remove that, so that can just stay like that. So let's do this. All right, so I had to use a breaker bar for these right here because the drill just was not doing it, and I didn't want to break something. So I'm just breaking them loose with the breaker bar and then going to the drill. Okay, so as you can tell, I did end up removing these because I thought that was the reason that this whole piece wasn't coming out. But I think the reason being that this piece wasn't coming out, like if I pulled it back, is because these are kind of caught in a weird kind of way. So if I show you and demonstrate this, put it in like this, I can't just take it out like that. It has to like come out at an angle or something like that. I don't know how this works exactly. When I removed all the two bolts on the side and the two bolts on the bottom on both pieces, I took it all out as one piece, and then those just easily just fell out. So that's good. So let's start putting in these new pieces here. One more thing I want to mention here before I start putting all these parts back, or the new parts installed, is that you always want to verify that the new parts are exactly like the old parts with the screw placements and all that. So I just verified that with these brackets, and you can see them, they're already in the holes. And I'm about to put this piece in right here. All right, so I've pre-placed all my bolts and everything just to make sure I know what I'm doing here. And then the last step is just to tighten everything down. So everything on that side, and I feel like an idiot. So I re-loosened these screws over here, and then these screws over here, because I didn't want to take them off again, just so I can get this piece off, because we actually also got this piece which is integrated over there. So I'm basically doing a lot more work than I should, so I am going to install that piece right now. All right, so before I start screwing anything in, this looks freaking incredible, so I just want to show this off. This is really awesome. So got that going on. Super shiny. You can see my reflection in there like a mirror. That is so awesome. So just gonna line up the holes here, and these came with screws and stuff. I noticed I think there was some screws missing, but I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna see if I can use the old screws. All right, so I added a bracket to this side. So as you can tell from under there. So what I do recommend doing is, I do recommend putting this one on first, since there's not a lot of room to play with on this one, and it has to be exact. And then you should do this one right here last, because there's a lot of play with that, and it's also going to be on the metal piece. And this is a little more flimsy, obviously. We just need our 2 bolts here and our 2 bolts here, put our step pads, put the lights, put the license plate. Something else I want to note is these, I guess, misimperfections, or could be on purpose as well for shipping purposes. I don't know. I'd say it's a misimperfection, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my blade and cut these off, because I noticed on the old piece it does not have that. So I just want to point that out. All right, so don't forget to place these connectors back. So this top one gets mounted up here, so you can see right there where it goes. And then also that entire harness that came out earlier, this is right here. So one right here, one right here, and then one right here, and of course this one as well. Let's see, that one, I was pretty sure it went in that hexagon hole, but that harness has like 2 pieces. So you see the 2 holes, the 2 subsequent holes there, like diagonally. That's basically where I put it in. So that's where it is right now, seated. Yeah, so this just gets plugged in here. There you go. I just heard it click. So make sure it clicks. I'm gonna leave the lights dangling because I'm gonna put in these final pieces here. So all we're left with is that and the step pads right here. So I'm gonna compare these to the OE license clamps. They're probably the same exact thing, to be honest. So I believe these are the GM ones that came with my truck, and these are the newer ones, but might as well just use the newer ones. So I do notice this is kind of flimsy, but I'm gonna go with it just because it's new. Okay, so that's kind of cool. It's come with hardware for these pieces right here, and I also noticed these come with their own halogens, which is pretty cool. But I have these LED ones, of course, so I'm just gonna use these old ones, and I might actually use the new plastic part though, and just store these ones. All right, so these are in, and I tightened them down with the new hardware. And I'm just gonna assume that this is for the license plate at this point. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, but that's what I would think. All right, so that one came on and the other one didn't, because you probably need to reverse the bulb. And that was the issue. Okay, so now we got that working, and now we're gonna put these step pads on. All right, so I used some of this Goo Gone stuff. This is a spray version of it, because I had a lot of sticky adhesive here on the edge and it just didn't look good. So I just sprayed it all on top of the surface and on the edge there. I let it sit for like 5 or 10 minutes. And yeah, a lot cleaner now. All right, so this is how it turned out, and I am extremely happy with how this turned out. Pretty much put everything new as much as I could that came in the box. I didn't use any of the screws that it came with. I just used the original screws, because the other ones was like a different system with a nut and a screw or bolt type system, and I didn't like that. And they didn't even give me enough screws anyway. So, but if there's one thing I had to change though, I would probably start by removing I would start by removing those 4 screws. That's really all you need to do, to be honest. Like I said, I didn't know it also. I was a little confused because the piece was all fused together pretty much, and I didn't realize that this metal piece already came with it, so that would have made my job a lot easier, but we're here now. So that's pretty much all I've got to show you guys. That's about it. I also ended up not using the screws or the hardware that it came with for the license plate, so yep. So I will conclude with that, and so feel free to subscribe to the channel and also turn on notification bell to stay up to date when I release videos. And I have a lot of videos in stock right now. I just haven't had time to edit them, but they will be rolling out here pretty soon. Especially now that I came to a good stopping point with my truck. So, and yeah, that's about it. I might actually put, I guess, a hitch ball here. It says remove for ball. I did buy one once from Walmart, but it wasn't the right size. I ended up returning it. But this time around, I'm gonna do my research, make sure I get the one that fits this truck. And we can see right here, 200-pound tongue load maximum. That was this 2,000-pound trailer load maximum. Gives you the information right there, which is nice. And yeah, what I did with the original plastic step was I actually used my utility blade to cut around this and poke this out, but there has to be a better way because I don't want to make this look ugly, or that might be the only way. But that's it, guys. Also, feel free to check out my SoundCloud, which is in the description below. I just put out a new song on there on my SoundCloud, so feel free to check that out. And yep, that'll pretty much do it. We'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.